Hello YouTube and the tribes of the horror realm. It's been a while since we've done a video. I've been kind of busy and just never have enough time, it seems. Sleepy McGee, get a beauty rest.
You were the one that was late the other day.
Anyways, it was a pretty busy week for us. We'll start out with it just before the weekend came about. We went Thursday night to Back Bay Event Center, and they had the Boston Book Festival starting for this weekend. And on this occasion, they had a panel on writing terror with several authors and iconic director and Teresa favorite,
Wes Craven.
This was actually a second opportunity to meet Wes. We went there to obviously get a chance to meet him, as well as drop him off a little gift from one of the stars of his movies, who we had met earlier, and she asked that we bring this picture along for him.
At the Lane Camp. We played Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Anyways. So when we were there, we added Wes to our collection of horror skulls signed by horror directors. So I was really excited to be able to get him on one of these. Adding him into the collection. We probably got about 5 of these skulls signed by different horror directors, and soon enough we'll start doing the display for him. Wes is a great guy, very soft-spoken, has some nice stories. Really wish he would do a convention so other people could meet him. He's, I think he'd do fantastic on the circuit. So on Saturday, we only went one day to the local horror convention, the annual one, which is Rock and Shock. They're doing their 10th anniversary. And, well, with Rock and Shock, the way they bring their guests back, it was also the 8th, 6th, and 4th. Yep. No, I know, no Bill Mosley, right? No, he'll be next year, because he was there the year before. Anyhow, the Rock and Shock, we got there, we decided to try to nip the busy ones right off the bat, so we went to the Walking Dead line because we knew this was going to be insane. If you've been to a recent horror convention the past year or two, you know all about the Walking Dead hipsters, also known as walkers. They're the ones that really don't have like anything horror except the Walking Dead. They have no idea who the actors' names are. They only know them by T-Dog, Daryl, Rick. And they could walk right by Kane Hodder and not think twice about it. But I digress. So while we were there, we got a chance to add to our Walking Dead poster. It's a love-hate thing of this thing for me. Yikes. Keep on rolling. There we go. We added along the side here Michael Rooker, and right down here Irony Singleton. It wasn't too bad getting to them. It was a smaller show and it had just started, so there was no pressing nature for it. Actually, T-Dog's line, Irony Singleton's line, was, there I go, complain about the walkers, and there I am going, T-Dog's line. But Irony Singleton's line was not that long. Really nice guy. A lot of energy, very positive type guy. Since he's left the show, he's taken on doing a one-man show with doing some characters and sending a message. He does some, what did he say? He does some comedy, some drama with the characters. He does a little rapping. It's mainly down south, and he's looking to bring it up into the northeast area, so if you're interested, just check his website out. Michael Rooker, the last time we saw Rooker was in Jersey, and it was pretty busy. He wasn't doing photos, so we just didn't even bother with it. This time around, he was doing photos at the table. Really friendly guy, upbeat.
Very nice, very nice. He's very nice.
Yeah, so it was real pleasure. We also decided to get another picture with Scott Wilson, who plays Herschel on the show. Again, Teresa, you're a big fan of Scott Wilson, aren't you?
Yes, he gave me a very big hug when I saw him this time around. I got one also for T-Dog.
T-Dog?
I Singleton.
And we also added to our Nightmare on Elm Street poster. We had, last time they had a Freddy vs. Jason reunion. Brendan Fletcher could not make it. So this time around we did manage to add him to the poster. Coffee. Make friends with it. Also added here, up here, Heather Langenkamp, and of course earlier, Wes Craven. We also went over and had the pleasure to once again see Adam Green. Adam's a local kid, so he's usually, when he can have the free time, he comes to Rock and Shock, and he brought along some of his cast members from his show Holliston, that's on FearNet. They've done 2 seasons. Hopefully they'll do a 3rd. It's one of the funniest shows that a lot of people have not had a chance to see. So we had met them before during his Boston Strong fundraiser, but this time around he was able to bring Corey English along as well as Dee Snider, so we added them to the poster here. We got Corey as well as Dee. And just because we're Holliston nerds, we had to come up with our own little homage to it, which was, if you've seen the show, you'll get the gag. Went to Market Basket, picked up a bag, and had Laura and Corey sign it, which they went along with the joke. Laura signed it, emphasis on basket. Corey wrote, no, 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 market, loud, basket, shh. Now, one of the things I'll give kudos to with Rock and Shock was they decided to bring in a couple of people from a recent sci-fi cult classic film, that being Sharknado. So Teresa said I was thrilled that they were bringing them in, because I loved Sharknado.
You were like a kid in the candy store when we saw them.
I just love that film. It is so over the top and cheesy. It is so fun. I can't wait for Sharknado 2, Sharknado 3. So they actually had the director Anthony Ferranti and one of the stars Jason Simmons. So we got a poster from them and signed by both. And while we were there, we chatted with them and a couple of these other kids that were from New York that were helping them out. Now, what else did we grab here? Okay, so we also picked up a few things.
Can I talk about Jack Ketchum?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, we went there and we saw one of a horror author, which his name is Jack Ketchum, and I read a couple of his books. And he is so over the top. His books are absolutely freaky. So his I went to his table and I picked up the book She Walks.
No, She Wakes.
She Wakes. I keep on saying She Walks for some reason. And he was very, very nice. He personalized my book, and I got to tell him how freaked out I was at the books that I read from him, and he goes, glad to hear that, because now I know that I'm doing my job right.
Okay.
We also went to the kitty shelter table, which is called Pat Brody's shelter. And what we did, we picked up a calendar that has all the kitties on it from the shelter, and we also picked up some toys for our cats.
Yeah, it's out of the box thinking on their part, but Pet Brody Shelter for Cats has been going to Rock and Shock probably 4 years now, and they do really well. They've gotten a lot of support from a lot of the guests that go there. They donate stuff for them to raffle off, and you know, who would have thought that an animal shelter would think we should go to this horror convention and try to raise money, but it's working.
They bring like 1 or 2 cats with them every year.
So while we're there, also picked up a few DVDs. As Teresa had said, we ended up with let's see. At the Sharknado table, there were a couple kids there that are from New York, and they had have their own little company that they've started doing films with, and they did their first debut feature. So Teresa wanted to support them, so she went over and bought their Blu-ray from the Fangoria table, which is Catch of the Day. They're from Fuzz on the Lens production company, fuzzonTheLens.com, and this is their first feature film, so we're looking forward to seeing how they do. But we just wanted to help out some young independent filmmakers. Speaking of independent filmmakers, we saw our good friends Morbid Vision Film, and they are presently getting ready to release their next feature, Cryptic Plasm, and they had special for the Rock and Shock a preview copy, limited to 100. So this is the advanced edition, and if you haven't seen them, morbidvisionfilms.com. Underground gore, fantastic films. You know, if you've seen my other videos, you know I was always a big fan of their stuff. And finally picked up this for the Halloween collection. This is Riff Tracks Halloween. The people from Mystery Science Theater basically riffing on the Halloween movie. So overall, really good time. For me, definitely one of the highlights was meeting the Sharknado people. It's just something you don't expect to see at every convention, that they would bring those type of guests in. So that was really awesome chance. We only went one day. We usually do 2, and we had to fit everything in one, so we didn't get to see a lot of our friends that we normally were hoping to get. It was just our paths never crossed because of conflicts in schedule. So you enjoyed meeting Jack Ketchum finally, right?
Yep, and Scott Wilson and I Singleton.
The only downside, I would say, we really wanted to get Tony Todd as well. He was there at the debuting with a company called Woodhaven Productions or Woodhaven Pictures or something. They're a small company out of Rhode Island. They had debuted their film with Robin Englund, Incubus, 2 years earlier. This time they were debuting a new film, Army of the Damned, and they had their entire cast and crew there. We decided we were just wanted to get Tony on a Candyman piece, so I asked him how much. They said, oh, he'll sign his own stuff. It's $30. And they said, just come back around 3 o'clock. After 3, he'll sign then, because he's right now doing the cast sign stuff. Fine. We go back there, and the guy's, oh, it's $30, and this other guy's like, but you know, if you spend $25 for the poster, you can get him and everybody else. Like, well, thank you, but just want him on the poster. No, you got to buy the poster. Like, you just told us to come back after 3 o'clock. No. So As it was pretty lowbrow in my opinion. Um, I get it. You're trying to win people over for your small company. 2 years ago, they brought the cast in to do a signing, which they gave out free posters, and they had everybody signing. You could get tickets there for their premiere for their film, and this time around, they want to make money. But I also think it also just kind of isolated people at the same time. So as far as I mean, they're no better than any. They're not even on Sci-Fi, so they're under even Asylum as far as I'm concerned. And at this point, it's not like I can't find Tony Todd at a convention, but probably the last time I ever would go near a Woodhaven table. So that would be my only complaint. I mean, typical convention stuff. There's always one person says one thing, the other person contradicts what the other one says. No one knows who to talk to. So overall, it was an alright show.
Yeah, it was. I liked it.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think we're going to have a better time at Chiller, though.
Yeah, next week we have Chiller, so we'll be back with a report on how that convention was.
And then after that we have Rhode Island Comic-Con.
So that's about it. Thank you very much.
Bye.